A conservative writer and commentator says that she was recently fired from a job and accused of being racist after making a joke about Vice President Kamala Harris. The Washington editor for The Spectator magazine's World Edition, Amber Athey, states that she was fired and that she lost her regular spot on a talk station in DC for a tweet about Harris's outfit at President Biden's State of the Union address. The tweet by Athey read, "Kamala looks like a UPS employee. What can Brown do for you? Nothing good, apparently." The former radio host then told Tucker Carlson that the station's parent company, Cumulus, thought it could appease the mob if they just fired me. End quote. Meanwhile, this radio station had the basic idea that the mob that promotes this evil Antichrist agenda thought that if they fired Athey, they would please the mob. Athey also stated during her interview with Tucker that the radio show thought that she would just roll over and shut up about this. But they were definitely wrong. Wanted to stop and pause real quick by thanking our supporters at Patreon. Our Patreon is patreon.com/redlibertymedia, and Patreon basically helps equip our contributors by making more content like the video that you are seeing right now. So if you are interested, please check out our Patreon. Our Patreon again is patreon.com/redlibertymedia. During her interview with Tucker as well, she even stated, "I intended as soon as I got fired to very loudly and proudly tell everybody about what happened to me, because I think we live in a perverse and sick society, Tucker, when a young woman from a working class background with parents who didn't go to college can't criticize the outfit of the most powerful woman in the United States. And worse than that, the most powerful woman in the United States is actually considered the marginalized victim in this scenario." End quote. Sorry, not sorry, but she is definitely right. It's really interesting if you think about it as well, how women who lean more towards the left are off limits from basic criticism, yet it's totally fine to criticize, bully, or even threaten right-leaning women. According to Athey, Cumulus Washington Vice President Jeff Bowden and Human Resources Vice President Kristen Fancelis told her in a phone call that her tweet violated a vague social media policy that forbids employees from doing anything that could bring reputational harm on Cumulus. The policy exists so that they can fire people for any reason that they want, Athey also added. Athey even stated that she was not even given the chance to defend herself. And Athey even reported that in subsequent meetings about the situation, they actually admitted that they didn't really even think that the tweet was racist. Athey stated what really mattered to them was the perception of it being racist by these really bad faith, really dishonest left-wing actors. End quote. Athey even claimed that on the show they often would speak about the dangers of censorship and cancel culture, and yet the company Athey worked for bended a knee to the mob. So if Athey can be fired for making a joke about the vice president's outfit, every single conservative host on a Cumulus station, or every single conservative host in general, is in danger of losing their job at really any moment's notice. Feminists also even went after their own Emma Watson, posting a photo of her on the red carpet with a message reading how Emma wanted the same phone case as a fan. And of course, the so-called movement that champions for women's empowerment or girls supporting girls went wild over how Watson looked in these photos. The comments made about Watson on the red carpet were incredibly vulgar, and the evil Antichrist mob just tore Emma to shreds in how she looked in the images on Twitter, stating that she looked like she has turned 46 or that she looked older than J.K. Rowling. Someone else who seemed more right-leaning by this tweet said before and after of feminism, "When it comes to Emma Watson, respectfully, I disagree with 100% of what she says, and I don't agree with her at all. Culturally and politically speaking, Emma and I probably wouldn't agree on anything." And of course, we can talk about how toxic leftism or progressivism is without ripping into a woman's physical appearance. Because in my opinion, you can attack someone's policy, but attacking their physical appearance, that just personally doesn't sit very well with me. To end this video, I guess I would just want to give advice, or whatever you may call it, to feminists. They really need to figure out what exactly they are fighting for, because bullying women is just not it for me. And also, if you call yourself a feminist, you should practice what you preach by not attacking women that may have different opinions than you. And also, isn't this the same movement that always talks about not judging other women or how all bodies are beautiful, to me, this just comes across as hypocritical. Now, hating the right seems like an accepted activity or hobby by the left. People's livelihoods or reputations shouldn't be terminated just because of something they say in conversations or on social media that may offend you. Why should right-wingers have to also bite their tongue and shut their mouths because you aren't able to control your emotions? You are allowed to talk about whatever you want. So I'm not sure why we can't do the same thing. The in-person and online censorship has just gotten super ridiculous. You say something at work to a coworker, and you could get fired or terminated or suspended from your job. Or you say something to a student or a professor at school, and you could be at risk of possibly being expelled or suspended from that school. You attend a protest, you get unfairly put on the no-fly list or arrested, or you are classified as a domestic terrorist. You wear a MAGA hat into a restaurant or a cafe, you get kicked out of the restaurant. You post something online that may be deemed offensive, and you can lose your entire reputation or livelihood. Everything is offensive nowadays, but an individual's livelihood or reputation shouldn't be ruined just because your poor little feelings get hurt. But that's all for me. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to Red Liberty Media's YouTube channel. Check the description links down below, and make sure you follow me and stay up to date with me on social media. My social media links are Instagram, Telegram, Parlor, Gab, Facebook, etc. Just check the description down below for those links. But anyway, that's all for me, and from New Mexico, God bless, and take care.